The famous geographer I chose was Sven Hedin. I picked him because after reading about him, he just okay. The famous geographer I chose was Sven Hedin. The famous geographer I chose was Sven Hedin. He was Swedish and okay. The famous geographer I chose was Sven Hedin. Who was he? He was a Swedish explorer, photographer, topographer, and above all else, a geographer. Hedin led several expeditions throughout Asia and the Middle East, as well as helped in creating several maps. Hedin is also known for his work done during both the First and Second World Wars. He was born February 19th, 1865, and died November 26, 1952. When Hedin lived and worked. Hedin lived in the late 1800s and through the first half of the 20th century. His first expedition launched in 1893, and he remained active in the field until 1935. Hedin worked through 2 world wars and through the time of imperialism. After his last expedition, Hedin spent most of his time giving lectures and writing more books about his adventures and discoveries. Getting his start. When Sven was a teenager, he witnessed the return of Adolf Erik Nordenskjöld, a famous Swedish explorer who had recently returned from sailing/exploring the Northwest Passage. Nordenskjöld inspired Sven to become an explorer. After 2 trips to Persia and obtaining a doctorate, Sven moved to Berlin to study under the German geographer Ferdinand Viher von Richthofen. Part of the way through his studies, Hedin felt like he was ready to take on exploring Asia and left before he could fully understand all branches of geography. And on the right, we have a painting of Adolf Erik Nordenskjöld's ship, Northwest Passage. Hedin's contributions. Hedin was often in the field on long expeditions. He led a grand total of 4, all with different goals in mind. Hedin documented quite a lot in his expeditions. He collected several geological samples as well as botanical and zoological specimens. He also kept detailed records of weather patterns and pinpointing archaeological sites on maps he helped create. And we have more contributions. Hedin's main reason for his expeditions was to fill in the unmapped gaps in Asia. Hedin explored the Pamir Mountains and traveled across the Taklamakan Desert, mapping what he could along the way. Hedin's major discovery was the Boston Lake, located in Tamarine Basin of China. Hedin is responsible for creating maps of all his journeys that took up a grand total of 1,700 sheets of paper. Hedin has also been awarded the Vega Medal, the Livingston Medal, and the Victoria Medal. And here's some of the maps he helped create along his journeys. The first one is the Central Salt Desert in Iran, and this was from his 3rd expedition. The second one down here is the Taklamakan Desert, I believe from his 2nd expedition. And over here on the right is from his 3rd expedition. It's mapping his path from one base camp to another. And here are the sources I used. The first one was for all the information on Sven, and the second one was and the photos, and the second one was the photo of the ship. And that's Sven Hedin.